Alright, well, let's put one firehouse on either side of the road here. Sure. And we do need to get these guys electricity and water. Let's drop some pylons over from this area. Where can they hook in? Space already occupied. Page down. I think this is also going to be a problem. How are we going to feed these guys with electricity? The elevated highways make that rather difficult. Alright, fine. We'll just have to bulldoze a house or let some people put some houses on this side of the way. Alright, you guys get to go and build up some houses. If only because I want to drop some pylons here. Alright, there. Go from here to here. Bulldoze that. Alright, now for the water. Okay, so all industrial. And we can leave them a little commercial. Let's say right there. And we can also leave them some parks. Putting that on the one-way would be kind of cruel, so let's drop them a park. Smaller park right here. And maybe another kind of park right over here. So these guys are fairly happy. I don't see any traffic coming their way yet. And I am curious to see how this works. The sharp corner there doesn't really look very nice. We can remake that into something else depending on how these guys respond to that. I mean, it doesn't make sense from a traffic roleplay perspective, so maybe we'll redraw that. Can we redraw that? Well, they don't even slow down for that turn. Oh, they do slow down. Okay, so let's see if we can redraw that as a more gentle turn off. Alright, that might be a little better. Alright, so right now there are only a few factories, so we shouldn't expect any traffic problems. They have one entrance right in the center, and they can split off in both directions, and then they can get right back off. If we go and expand the industrial area even more, well, our industrial demand is now really low. Okay, so we'll revisit this area and see if splitting the on and off ramps like that is as effective as we have been led to believe. Let's go and drop some residential. We could put a bunch of residential over here, but I think we want a lot of residential down here. So let's set that up right now. So to about here. Have a 6 lane that runs parallel and then joins up with the rest of the city again. That, and over this way, here, reconnect, and yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now tree-lined, multi-way streets. Let's see. starting here. To about there. Almost down to here. Now, if these are going to be high density residential, maybe they do want a few more connections than I'm giving them. Alright, that's fine. Looks a little weird, but that's part of the charm. Okay, so now we're going to give them some parks. Park with trees, it's nice and large. Maybe something smaller that we can fit in pretty much anywhere. This guy right here. And then this guy over here seems good. Give them an elementary school and a firehouse. Let's see. A medical clinic, sure, let's give them one of those as well. Maybe right here. And we'll give them a firehouse right over here. And of course they're going to need water and probably power, so maybe if I... Well, let's give them the water first. Ooh, these guys don't have any water. That was an oversight. I don't like that. There's a small section without water coverage. We'll redraw that then. Alright, good. And we're eventually going to fill this in, I assume. So let's finish our water piping right now. Alright, so that's fully covered. And these guys just need their power. Let's see, what does power coverage look like? Once these guys get filled in with residential, and we'll put some stuff along here. Maybe some commercial. Let's see. Some offices. And then some light commercial all along this path. Sure. And then we'll do a bunch of high density residential. And we can mix some low density in there too. Let's give these guys a school. An elementary school and a high school. And some low density commercial. Mix that in. Power should get hooked up once this area becomes fully populated. In fact, let's try to encourage that a little sooner. Let's slide some low density residential in here. Don't make me draw out a power pylon. Seems that I'll have to. Alright, so we'll drop power pylons until this area fills in. And there's more commercial demand. Let's see, where would I want to drop that? We could drop another commercial district over here. Let's do that. This guy's abandoned for whatever reason. What's the land value look like over here? It's pretty good. Well, medium. I suppose they could use some more services. Yeah, we'll give them another park. Got a park up there. We could give them some more. Let's put in another 6-lane over here. Is that going to connect up? And it's too steep. And then we'll just have one connection down the middle. And the rest can not hook up completely. Totally fine. Okay, so if the demand for commercial is so high, let's do a ring of high density commercial. And we'll also give these guys a park. Let's see. Right over here. And a small park over here. And maybe some offices mixed in, or some low density commercial mixed in. Sure, that'll be fine. These guys need workers, and our demand for industrial's gone up, so let's go and expand out. How's our oil industry doing, by the way? Looks like they've used up all the oil. So this used to be an oil-rich region, but we're gonna have to convert that over to something else. Alright, so what does that mean for us exactly? Plastic perfection, goods from oil. So now I guess we just import oil? Is this how this works now? Because there's not any oil in the ground. Lots of overeducated workers. Alright, let's see. Oil specialization. How do I switch that away? Go and look at the regions. Paint district. How do I disable that? Generic industry. Okay, so we can switch that over to generic industry. And do they immediately switch away from oil, or will they switch away as needed? Because I don't imagine that they're going to be recovering much oil here. At least not anymore. Well, I mean, they weren't complaining about anything. Still got the oil specialization. Oh well, they're not complaining. No one's complaining about not having enough workers. We'll leave that as is, but all the oil is gone. Hey Pluvius, welcome to the stream. Alright, and these guys aren't too happy about something. Lots of abandoned buildings. Good traffic flow, but no one wants to work here. It's too far away from the jobs, I guess. People should be able to travel here without any trouble. Although, people coming from the main city, let's see, they don't have a good way to get onto this highway. Alright, so we weren't actually planning to use this area right away, and so we didn't actually hook that up. We need to get this hooked up right now then. So people coming from the east, going westbound, need a way to get over to this highway, which means we're gonna go and I guess we could put a connection in right here. Let's do that right now. Let's see if they'll take that. Oh wait, I need to get over to this area. How am I gonna do that? right over here, then curve around perhaps. Take the curve tool. Like this. And curve around as sharply as is allowed. Too steep. Is that gonna work? No, that's not gonna work. Okay, well, if we have this guy back, we could have a little more space for an off-ramp or an interchange. It's too short. So, this area is lower. If we built something out over this way, like this, and then hooked up over here, could that work? Space already occupied. Go to here, and I feel like we're close, but there's probably not enough space to turn around. I've seen curves that are this sharp. It doesn't seem to want to do that for me. Alright, what if we just curved around underneath the highway here? Are we running into a pylon? No, that's not the problem. Alright, what if we branch out directly this way and then pop up in the middle? Alright, so that kind of works. Not the greatest, but people need to go over this way, which apparently no one does. They do have a way to do that. Okay, so east and westbound traffic can go south along this highway here. Now, is the same true for people exiting? So they can go east, but they can't easily switch to going west. We need to get that fixed up. Page down. And then we can curve off this way. And join up with this road, I suppose. Yeah. No one's using that highway, so I don't have any idea of whether or not that's going to cause any traffic problems, but at least people can go in all the directions that they need to. And yes, this is another monstrosity of a interchange. Alright, so these guys all need workers. Where would people like to live? Maybe on the other side of the highway? I don't know if that makes much sense. A lot of residential demand over here, and the new area that we built out is right down here. And so if they want to get to the new industrial zone, that's quite a bit of traveling along this highway. They could definitely do it, so these interchanges should work fine. So these guys, they want to go to work over there, they can just drive up onto this highway here. In fact, let's follow this car. Oh, cancel the road tools. So you have a nice scenic highway here over the river, heading towards the oil industry. Sound barriers, protecting the forest and wildlife from all of the motorway traffic noise. All sorts of merges, a nice little bridge, suspension bridge here. And where are we going here? Where does Mary Hunter work? At the new commercial center, which is pretty far from her home. So far she hasn't hit any traffic, so that's nice. And looks like she just navigated. Oh man. Is she going back home already? So she's going to the Holly residence. She didn't even make it to work, did she? That's not good. And okay, let's keep following her around because I have a feeling something really bad just happened. We took a really convoluted route to here. Let's see where she ends up. Alright, so this is her house right here. And we followed her originally from down here. But she went all the way across the bridge and came back to get here. And that's because we need an off-ramp into this area, it would seem. Alright, so, and the reason we don't have an off-ramp here is because when we first built out these on-ramps, this area of the highway didn't exist. So let's hook this up. Now, where do I want to drop some off-ramps? Guess we can just join them up to here. Space already occupied. Slope too steep. Alright, plow down one of those oil buildings. And if we want to get into this area, we can happily draw out a off-ramp to here. Let's see, do we want to join up at the same spot? Or we could just join up right down to this intersection that could cause us some traffic issues. Alright, so this puts in a needless intersection. But I don't know if we have a good alternative. Alright, let's see how that off-ramp performs. As long as not too many people are using that, it'll be fine. Alright, so in this episode, I was hoping to fix our traffic problems, but instead we built, we built this little ghost town here, where businesses set up shop, but they just couldn't find anyone to work for them. And we built a bunch of really ugly interchanges. We tried to build I tried to build out a traffic circle just for the viewers, since it was requested by quite a few of you. And I mean, cars are using it, but I don't think it really relieved any traffic for us. Although there isn't as much of a red zone here, so maybe the traffic circle did help. A nice little traffic circle with a elevated rail line running on top of it. But anyways, I think what I'll do is when I'm not streaming, I'll go and have a look at the city. Hey, these are really nice houses. They're all a different color. They're all sort of matching in their own little way. Ah, they're not houses, they are businesses of some kind. Anyways, I'm gonna go and think about exactly what we want to do traffic-wise. This ended up being a very successful city. We'll probably go and put a highway down the center here, and then set up some sort of residential near this industrial park and try to get that going too. But I think that's going to be it for Skylines tonight. I think, I don't know, I'm pretty tired after work today, but I do want to try Off-World Trading Company, try the robotic faction again after the upgrade where they did get, or the update patch where they did get a bunch of new abilities. Given the degree to which I'm tripping over my words right now, it might not be the most, the best time to learn. Anyways, thanks for joining me on the Off-World stream. Wait, oh man, I can't even speak properly. So I do want to play more Off-World, and this is going to be the conclusion of tonight's Cities Skylines stream. So thank you all for joining me for that, and I'm going to switch over to Off-World again, but I have a feeling it's also going to be a bit of a disaster. So we'll save this as Twitch 2.